That was just so moving. I loved that, talking to Janine. I didn't know much about Janine, and she doesn't have a website, or this was her very first podcast interview. She had actually never done anything like this before. I had spoken to her a few times on the phone, on the internet and on email, and heard her, speaking to David in the car and so on and so forth. So I knew we had a great connection, but I didn't really know what to expect. I didn't really know anything about her, only that David said, oh, she's wonderful, she's amazing. And David was right. She is wonderful and amazing, absolutely wonderful and amazing. Really, I was profoundly moved by that. Her conversation. Look, I can imagine there's so much more to her story than we heard today. So much more. She worked for years at Microsoft, working for a certain software developer, which would have been interesting to go into because he's a character, he's a big player on the world stage at the moment. But she said she loved working for Microsoft. They treated their staff really well. And there's a lot more to Janine than meets the eye. But yeah, she's focused in the feng shui. I don't even really know how to say it. But I found that was really interesting what she said about the Reiki masters leaving planet Earth, Terra Earth, to go and spread their love in another universe, another planet. That it has done its job, and we're sort of upgrading all the time to different frequencies. As the guides have shown me, and many channelers have talked about, we've been, the energy of the universe has been bombarding this world with upgrades all the time for decades, maybe even over 100 years, but it's accelerating, it's getting more and more intense as we move in what we perceive as time and space. The energy upgrade of this planet is happening, which is dredging up all the dirt, which we're seeing in our mainstream media. We're seeing a lot more dirt being dredged up, a lot more corruption being exposed and disclosed. So it's exposing and disclosing a lot of the distortion in this world, but it's also exposing a lot of the consciousness technology that a lot of the light workers have been working with for years. And people like Janine, who have been here for 40 odd years, completely awake and speaking to masters in spirit. And so this is all coming out, people's ET connections and their spirit connections and their psychic awareness. It's all coming out as the energies ramp up on this planet. So yeah, I suppose as we're shifting in frequencies, certain energies that we've been using are no longer viable as we move in frequencies. It just makes sense, really, doesn't it? And the frequencies that we're using today, maybe the galactic frequencies that are being used in energy healing today, will be upgraded and usurped by other frequencies as we move, as we evolve and move into a 5D reality. I suspect that the energy technology or the energy science will be vastly different to what we understand, even as psychics and healers today. It's exciting times, as I always say. It's very exciting. The future is an exciting place. The future is an exciting place. And, I had a question from one of my clients about how we can access the good. I put a thing on my Facebook saying, we can't heal and uplift this world by focusing on what's wrong with it. Focus on what's good about it. Only love expands love. Only love increases love. Hate doesn't increase love. Only love increases love. Focus on the good. And somebody said, well, how do I do that when I'm looking out into a world that I don't agree with and I can't see anything good in it? We can focus on the good, even when the mainstream media is determined to show us, absolutely committed and determined to show us what's going wrong in this world. We can still accentuate the positive in all of it. We can focus on the good. We can focus on what we want to create instead of what is created. Esther Hicks says this, repeatedly, ad nauseum. Or when I say Esther Hicks, the stream of consciousness known as Abraham that flows through Esther Hicks and many others speaks about creation as not focusing on what is, because as you focus on what is, you just recreate it. Marina Jacobi says you reprint it, repattern it. As you focus on a frequency, you just keep repeating it. Focus on what you want to see in this world, and you bring that pattern, you print that energy into this reality as you put your powerful powers of attention, intention, attention, and focus on what you want to create in this world, not what is. So what is, you might not agree with, you might think it's corrupt, you might think it's wrong. Okay, so that's what is. What is a story of the past. It's what people have been focusing on in the past. You want to be a creator, a light weaver, you want to weave the energies of the universe into a new story. Focus on what you want to see happening in this world, and don't get distracted with the current narrative or the current creation. Focus on a new creation. Focus on the possibilities. What is possible for you and everyone else? What's possible? Infinite amount of things are possible. Seth said, I read the books 30 years ago, over 30 years ago. Seth said, channeled information, Jane Roberts in the 60s. There are only 2 rules to this life. 1, you create your own reality, and 2, there are no limits. You get to create what you want in this world, in your life and in this world, and there are no limits to your powers of potential. Absolutely no limits. Okay, enough said for today. Chew on that for a while. Focus on what you want. The cat's come to say hello. And yes, the Inner Sanctum, Garnet's coming in a couple of weeks. I'm getting some of my tribe to do some channeling next week. They were supposed to do it this week, but they both didn't turn up. It was Mother's Day. I forgot that it was Mother's Day in the States. It was Monday here in Australia. I do the Inner Sanctum on a Monday morning here in Sydney, which is a Sunday afternoon in the US, and early Monday morning in Singapore, very late, and Sunday night for Europe. Trying to find a time zone that fits with all the time zones. It's mid-morning in New Zealand. We've got people from all over the world there. But anyway, Mondays is the day that I've set on, early morning Monday morning here in Sydney. And we've got a couple of people in the Inner Sanctum that are going to do some channeling, practicing their channeling prowess, which is going to be interesting. And then Garnet's going to come and chat to us. And I'm online every week teaching as usual. And for the next few weeks up until the expo, I'm going to be chatting with speakers or potential speakers for the High Self Expo. Hopefully they'll all speak. We can fit them all in. We're busy asking people to be speakers for the expo. Even if they don't speak at the expo, at least they'll be on my show. You can hear their stories, and fun times. And then I've been booking people for after the expo too. I'm getting very galactic after July. There just seems to be a lot of people that are in my space that are talking about a lot of galactic stuff. So I'm going to get really galactic after July. I was thinking about asking Zane to do a High Self Expo all about galactic consciousness and galactic wisdom. He might not do it. If he doesn't do it, I might do it. Anyway, there's lots to do, lots to play with in this world. Thanks again for watching and listening. And remember to please subscribe and like and share the shows and leave your comments. What did you think of Janine's story? What did you think of Reiki leaving the planet? Maybe you've got something to say about that. Let me know what you think. Love you big time. Bye for now.